And now that I've started to explain things, you know what? We might as well just go for this chat, right? Why not? Let me set the stage here for what is going on for this upcoming season. Because like I said, I did sim through the preseason to set up this roster because we had to. We are still very, very much against it from a cap perspective. This is, again, one of our last chances, I would presume, to actually win a championship right now. Our cap penalty is only 1.67 million, which is awesome, but we do only have $2 million in cap space. As we look at these contracts, Zach Henry's in the final year of his deal, which is horrifying. We have restructured Jay Williams' contract, so he'll be going from making $18 million this year to $30 next year. So that's a problem. Good old Chest Williams had his contract restructured. Brandon Bush is one of the few that didn't. There were quite a few deals that ended up being restructured. Again, Khalid Callahan's going from making $11 million to 18. Cam Walton's going to be getting a huge pay raise in the next year. Our quarterback, Dennis Payne, his 5th-year option kicks in next year. This is it, man. This is it. The quality of this team will take a dip after this season. It is just bound to happen. Bucket on the primer as well. Thank you for that, my man. Again, I appreciate that. Does the game fire you eventually? So firing is off for us because it doesn't really fit the vibe of what we do. So we do leave it off. This is it, man. This is it. Like, this is... Last season was our best chance, I would still say, and we lost in the wild card round. This is our second best chance, is to win this season and try to get it done. Tuned out after a loss last night. Did I miss anything? We lost in the playoffs. And again, our goal for the season is easy. Win the Super Bowl. I'll showcase what the team ended up looking like here in a second. Shout out to Statmaster for the 5 months on the primer. My God. Anybody else tired? Why am I always tired? Am I dying? I might be dying. Let's go ahead and choose that draft class. We're going to have to set that up as we always do. We did accidentally automate a 2nd-round pick. And he ended up being okay. All right. A couple of quarterbacks in the top 10. I honestly don't know what we're going to want to target here in this upcoming draft. It depends on who we're going to be losing, which is unfortunate. Obviously, we have some upgrades here recently as well. Let's go over the team right now, and then we'll get into all the other stuff. So, quarterback, Dennis Payne. He has brought the pain in the last 2 postseasons. By throwing some very ill-timed interceptions, but he is ready to go for this season. He is, of course, our best chance at winning something. No new abilities yet, but once he goes up 1 more point, he will get that final ability slot. Again, outside of having spin cycle randomly, he is insane. Mobski, what's up? It's been a very, very good day. Backup quarterback this year is actually Kenny Pickett, and we brought in Davis Mills as a mentor because Payne's still young enough, I believe, to get the effects of that. If I'm not mistaken, it's up to 25. So if I'm wrong, then hey, no harm done. Running back-wise, Cam Walton's still here. He's still absolutely insane. Tyler Nash behind him. Glenn Gary, Glenn Reynolds, who fell down the normal dev. No surprise. But yeah, we don't have a... We actually don't have a mentor at running back, but we can afford to have one on the roster. Let me do that really quickly. Did Nash regress? Let me check in 1 second. I think so. I think he is. Well, no, he was always star dev, wasn't he? Get me a mentor. We can bring in Travis Etienne. That's fine. Right? We got the money for it. Barely. But yeah, there we go. We'll bring on Etienne to be the 4th string running back. I thought Nash's overall was higher. It was, but that you also got to factor in we had very high morale last year, so that boosts up the overall for the team. Fullback, Jacoby Harris, who was in last year's draft. He's fine. Mills, what's up? So far, so good. We're doing well. Wide receiver core is still as strong as ever. Zach Henry, Marco Macklin, Brandon Bush, Dalton Montague. Another primer. Guys, cut it out. JFS. Thank you very much for that. My goodness. Henry did drop to star dev, but he's 26. It's fine. Again, this receiving core is insane. Marco Macklin's insane. I love this receiver core. We also brought in Jacoby Myers, which is very, very good. Tight end, still Bryce Wells and Lonnie Reed. Reed, of course, lost his X Factor heading into next year. My goodness, enough. Stop giving me money. Reese's on the year. Is that a name change? That has to be a name change, right? Macklin will be wide receiver number 1. Yes, goodness. If you could, would you delay your honeymoon until the next All-In? Look, I will be trying to be in London next August. Although, holy shit, do I not want to have to experience Heathrow Airport again? Mostly just lurking. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, Reese's, thank you for that. You would think I would have not been caught off guard by the name, but now that you mentioned the lurker, it makes more sense. Thank you. Mazel tov on the 1 year. I hate Heathrow Airport. There's a fun fact for you for the resub. I'm so tired today. Oh, God, this is going to be a fun night. Left tackle is this hurt dude. He's only hurt for like a week or something like that. Do mentors actually do something other than the random events? They generate a little bit more weekly training XP for younger players. But we were able to sign KJ Battles. Obviously, I actually don't even know how long he's hurt for. Jay Williams, still at left guard. Our O-line depth has taken a huge hit. You got Jeremiah Proctor at center. Greg Ringer at right guard. And then right tackle, still Bryson Cook. But yeah, our offensive line, our O-line depth, has taken a massive hit. Of course, we have Chest, who is hurt for 1 week. He got hurt in the preseason. He's not out long term. But Chest Williams there, alongside one Forrest Harris. Finally up to an 85, which is beautiful. Beautiful. Defensive tackle Michael Lucas, DeAndre McGee. Brought Devon Hamilton back as a mentor. Linebacker Manny Saucedo, who I thought for sure that we would trade because he dropped from X Factor to Superstar, but money-wise, it worked out to keep him, so I figured why not. 3-4 or 4-3. This season, probably a 4-3. Middle linebacker took a hit at depth. We have Daniel Malone in the middle, and then on the right is Devin Fowler, but yeah, the depth is a little bit spotty. And then our corners, Khalid Callahan, Bart Flowers, Jeff Okuda, Sean Mooney, and Gio Moore, who, again, was our accidental second-round pick. So we'll probably play him in the 4 spot to try and make sure he develops a bit. Safeties, Derek Ridley and Matthias Griffin. It's a stacked team. This is our opportunity. This is our shot. And, of course, we actually have a first-round pick this year, although with the money trouble, we'll probably have to trade that down the line, right? So this will be interesting. Shout out to Let's Go Heat for the 3 months on the primer. Everyone's Prime sub came due at the same night, the same time. And I thank you all for using them here. Appreciate you. It's going to the Get Me to London Fund next August. Let's double check this depth chart and just make sure that we are looking okay. We want Marco Macklin to be our number 1. And let's go ahead do something like that. Yeah, so we do have that injury at left tackle right now, which is not great. But there's only so much you can do. And at left end. Oh, goodness. Shout out to Richard Head. What a man. What a man. What a man. What a man. What a mighty good man. Mighty, mighty good man. All right. I think we are, I think we're set up here. I think we are. Honestly, we could make Gio Moore the slot receiver this year. Or the slot receiver, the slot corner. All right. Got Dalton as the return man, which is good. So Meltzer was practice squatted, unfortunately. Although, who knows? We could call him back up. We could. Good old Dave Meltzer that we drafted. It's lovely. Shout out to Glenn Reynolds actually being an improved third down back. I wasn't expecting that. Slot receiver, of course, we want it to be Dalton. If it's not going to be him, it can be Bush. Left side, we want that to be Holt. Right side, we want that to be Harris. DT can be McGee, that's fine. Linebacker, that works for me too. And then the corner, we're going to want it to be Moore. There we go. Yeah, practice squad, good old Davey Meltzer out of Purdue. Beautiful, can't wait to get Brian Alvarez next draft. Or a Brian Zane. I mean, there's so many, you know, we could get a Sean Ross Sapp. There's so many reporters or YouTube personalities we could lock down from the wrestling community. It could be wonderful. But, all right, let's double check actually the injury report really quickly because I don't know how long that offensive tackle's out for. Only a week. Okay. So we won't be at full strength at least for week 1. We'll see if there's another injury that could cause problems here. We gotta win this year. We gotta win this year. That's the only thing I can say. We have to win this year. We'll go with the opening day stuff the run key here because I feel like it's the easiest one to get. The most likely one to get. But yeah, we have to win this year. Otherwise, again, like this was the year where it's like, okay, we're going to lose our depth. Gatwick Airport, if I remember, has directs to the U.S. Ooh. Yeah, Heathrow was a fucking nightmare for me this past June. Oh my God. I can't say I have too much anticipation to fly back into that airport. Jesus Christ. PTSD just thinking about it. Let us double check what we have here in terms of our scouting as we look to get this set up for this season. Central, we got corner, quarterback, and safety. In the Northeast, defensive end, wide receiver, cornerback. And in the Southeast, wide receiver, defensive end, and safety. So a big year for wide receiver, defensive end, and safeties, actually, in terms of what's available. Let me go back and double check whose contracts are coming due. That is what we're going to have to base our scouting on this year. We're going to lose people. We lost the depth last year. This is the year that we lose some of the extra. We're definitely going to need O-line help. We're probably going to need linebacker help. We're losing Jeff Okuda at corner. So the good thing is, yeah, we're going to be losing Ringer more than likely. We definitely need O-line help. Yikes. Henry's due. I don't know if we'll be able to bring him back. Bryce Wells' contract is coming up. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we know who to focus on here. We scout nothing because no money. Yeah, we pay our scouts an exposure. Don't worry about it. Don't you worry about it. All right, let's see. Speaking of firing people, let's go ahead and get rid of these guys. As we do. A lot of depth going out. Well, I mean, again, last season was the depth. This year, it's like, oh, high-end players are leaving. So the national scout, it was wide receiver, defensive end, and safety that were viewed as the strengths. Given that Zach Henry might go, we need our 3-star to be a wide receiver scout, especially because wide receivers have been pretty bad for us. There's wide receiver, tight end. There's safety and wide receiver, Ted Wilkerson, not Wilkinson, excuse me. There's corner wide receiver again. So right now, safety and wide receiver. That is what it's going to be. So Ted Wilkerson's going to be our national scout for this year. And then 2 stars, bit tough. Toxic Brown. Seriously, did everyone's Prime sub expire at the same time? Toxic, thank you for the 19 months. I appreciate it. How are you tonight? Thank you for the continued support of my face. Topic of Liverpool, they won today over Newcastle. They sure did. Those officials can suck it. Fabian, what's going on? Or perhaps Fabian. Depends on where you're from. What's going on, though? How are you? All right, there is Deion Sanders, which is amazing. Corner wide receiver. That could fit the New England region. Let's bring in Deion Sanders. Am I wearing a Sens jersey? I sure am. This is my Bobby Ryan. It's my Bobby Ryan Sens jersey. It's a beaut. It's a beaut. Yeah, no reason to not bring in Deion Sanders here. It's Deion frickin' Sanders. And then for the 1 stars, wide receiver, quarterback doesn't fit. Corner wide receiver doesn't fit. We don't need defensive tackles at all. Defensive end, outside linebacker. That also doesn't really work. Tight end, quarterback, no. Corner in middle also doesn't fit. Offensive tackle. The interior position doesn't. I mean, the interior position helps, it's just not a strength. Let's see. What else do we got here? Quarterback, middle linebacker. How have I been? I have been very good. I'm doing very well. Brian Axford. Sorry to cut that off. But we got Brian Axford for the West. Worked out very well. I hate that it resets the list, though. Let me go all the way to the other side here. Oh, Brian lived 3 blocks from me. I went to the same high school as Johnny. Hey. Small world, then, huh? Guadalupe Pena. Do you match anything that I need? Because that is a hell of a name. No, you don't. That's a shame. Tight end, defensive end, safety, wide receiver. Safety, wide receiver works for the Southeast. Mr. Coslow, welcome back. Alec, what's going on? How are you tonight? Favorite NFL team? I am a Patriots fan. Mac Jones, #1 in your hearts. #1 in your hearts. Favorite CFL team? Give me the Red Blacks. I love a team that can't decide their favorite color, because neither can I. What's my favorite color? I don't fucking know. It changes all the time. The blue greens. Big fan of the blue greens too. Although the only CFL stadium I've seen with my own eyes is BC Place. So let's go with the BC Lions. Yeah. Hear the roar. Catch the fever. So corner, quarterback, safety. Corner, quarterback, safety. We don't really need the quarterback. Is there a corner and a safety? There's got to be, right? Corner and safety. It just lines up so well. Yeah, Curtis Caldwell. There we go. All right, so we're actually going to be able to scout the strengths of each region, which is good. Which is good. Favorite XFL team? Give me the New York, New Jersey Hitmen, because I love a team that can't decide who the hell they actually want to represent. You know, kind of like the New Jersey Giants and Jets of New York, or the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. You know, I love indecisiveness. Indecisiveness it's the best. All right, Coslow goes to the southeast. Axford goes to the west. Caldwell to the central. Deion goes northeast, and Ted Wilkerson is our national scout. There we go. Good. Scouting is pretty much done for us then. Beautiful. So with that, let's just double check our schemes. We don't have a breakout moment for week 1. So again, the goal right now is to make as much progress as possible to get back to the playoffs, because the playoffs, that's what we really care about. It's my favorite NFL player right now. Oh, God. My favorite NFL... Oh, God. Who's my favorite NFL player right now? That's a really good question. And I don't know if I have an answer. I don't know if I do. Because so many of my favorites have retired. I don't know. That's a tough one. Soup, salad, or breadsticks? Salad, man. You can't beat a good salad. Kool-Aid, McKinnis. Favorite 5th Division English football club? Ooh. If I'm not mistaken... aren't Dag and Redbridge 5th tier, or are they down to 6th tier? Let's go with them. Because, again, they can't decide what the hell or where the hell they want to be. Do we want to run the air raid again? I don't know how well it worked out for us last night, necessarily. Fabian steps in, drops the hard-hitting questions, and bails. I love it. Have a good one. We got the West Coast spread, which, Got the zone run. Oh, what do we want to do here? The Tugi 24 media scrum. Yeah. I mean, multiple zone run does make sense. So does multiple power run, for that matter. Right? I mean, we have a tremendous running back. If you were at work and you accidentally pooped your pants, what would you do? Now, I almost did that once, actually. I would say that I clocked out, but don't actually clock out, and then go home really quickly, clean up, and then go back to work. The key is to not clock out. That's the key. I just call it sick. What's wrong with you? Well, you see, I was in the building, and then I pooped, and I just had to go home. I don't know what schemes to run this year. Vertical power run. Vertical power run. That's the one. That's the one. 4-3, cover 3 still makes a lot of sense for this team. It does. In terms of a playbook, I want to go back to that Tennessee playbook. Just for the running game. We can stick with that Jets defense as well. We'll start off with those. Again, we changed these up quite a bit last year until we found a winning formula. That's going to be the game plan again. So we start off our season against Pittsburgh. I will put up a prediction in chat, because why not? And that is, do we make the playoffs? Place your bets now. Let's sim week 1. Oh, good. Then we take on Atlanta in week 2. You know, the back-to-back Super Bowl champions. That'll be fun. Pittsburgh, we win. Convincingly so. 42-20. Very good way to start off a new season. It's about time we had an impressive week 1 performance, because we normally don't. 448 yards offensively. My goodness. Player stats. Dennis Payne, 2 touchdowns and a pick, but 330 yards. 3 rushing touchdowns for Cameron Walton. 1 for Tyler Nash as well. So clearly, the offense loved the running game in week 1. So so far, so good with the strategies that we assigned. Beautiful. Let's see if we stop them. Oh, my nose. I think we really impressed. You did. You impressed. I am impressed. All D linemen get 4,500 XP. And we get 10 staff points to start off the season. That's a beautiful thing. And again, we haven't had a breakout moment for over a calendar year now. I'm not holding my breath that we'll see any this season either, so. This is who we have in training currently. You can really kind of tell our focus there. We'll stick with that too. Again, we want to try to get Gio Moore to play because the AI drafted that guy for us. And maybe, just maybe, that's who we needed. Maybe it's who we needed all along. Making it past the wild card round would be our breakout. It's true. I can't argue with that. We'll just stick with getting the XP boosts for who happens to be here. Why not? Why not? We have almost maxed out these developmental trees. Achilles, what's up? How are you tonight? I hope you're good. I hope you're well. Doing swell. Looking swole. What do we got for player upgrades here? Atlanta, like I said, back-to-back Super Bowl champions. I don't expect this to be an easy game. Chest will be back. Now rocking an 89. Good old Corbin Chest Williams. Yes, I almost forgot what his first name was. We got Marco Macklin. I love Marco Macklin so much. Up to an 89. I love him so much. I'm so glad he was the guy that we thought he was, too. And then Forrest Harris. Also getting better. What year are we in? 2031. Are we good now? Yes, but how good is good? That's the real question. How's that for a mental dilemma? How good is good?
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking grass.
Shout out to, I imagine it would be Kinnick. Let me know if I'm wrong. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Let's see, we got KJ Battles. Defensive line. Chest is back in. Let me check the rushing. Perfect. Old Chest Williams ready to make his season debut. Already the best Macklin we've had in any franchise. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Well, Atlanta lost in week 1. Again, we have nothing tying us to really jump in. We're about making progress here. Week 2 at home against the Soupity Boopity champions. And we lose. 17-14, a week after putting up 40 points, we lose by a field goal. We can't beat Atlanta. They are the new Rams. Son of a bitch. There's an injury. It's our starting defensive tackle, Michael Lucas. So about that 4-3 defense. Oh, it begins. It begins. It begins. Because we can't really run Devon Hamilton. I mean, technically, we're gonna have to switch. We're gonna have to switch to a 4-3. That or a 3-4. Excuse me. The opposite of what I said. All right. Well. That, That's a good start. That's a good start to the season, isn't it? All right, so, could go with the base 3-4. The 3-4 under doesn't necessarily work for us. There is, of course, the disguise 3-4 as well, or the 3-4 storm. We do technically have the linebackers to be able to get the interceptions. Let's go for that 3-4 storm. We'll go with the Detroit Dan Campbell playbook. Why not? Why not? Why not? A nice strong injury to start the season. Oh, I'm not ready to look at contract renegotiations. I'm not. it's going to be just as painful, if not more so, than it was last season. So in the West, I mean, either of these focuses make sense. I would say let's look more at the outside linebackers as the pure focus. Changed my mind. Let's look at the O-line help. Let's look at the O-line help. In the Central, I hit the wrong button. You'll have to see it. We're going to focus more on corners here as opposed to safeties. In the Northeast, we'll look more at wide receivers. And in the Southeast, we'll also look at wide receivers. So we'll pretty much have the information on the wideouts that we will need. I have no idea what these schemes mean, but go Arizona Storms. Fair enough. That's the right attitude. I don't know what's going on, but I'm still rooting for them. That is the right attitude. So 1-1, we take on the Rams. Which, again, just because they were without Aaron Donald last year, it doesn't necessarily mean that we greatly improved against them, because we beat them, but it's the Rams. I think they will always be a thorn in our side, unfortunately. But we will have some more player upgrades. We played Baltimore. Have we ever played the Ravens? We probably have at this point. I mean, Jesus, we're almost 10 years into this, but still. We're getting some receiving help here. Zach Henry improves again. I hope to God it's not his last season here, but you never know. You never know. Brandon Bush as well, who has developed to be a much better option than I ever thought he would be. A very, very strong option. Currently kind of in that 3 spot. I mean, he really is like a 2 wideout, though. Could be a number 1 on some teams. And then Devin Fowler will try to make you better at pass coverage, because it's the one thing you're not so hot at. In comparison, it's a +5 in terms of general coverage. That's not bad. The Rams in week 3. I gotta know. Screw it. I said I wasn't ready. I gotta know. How bad are these contracts? We are already $10 million in the hole for next season. Fuck. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.